Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm reviewing the Logitech LIFT ergonomic mouse. The retail price is US $69. I purchased this here in Singapore for $119. Logitech actually has another vertical mouse called the Logitech MX Vertical, which is US $99. So this is the more affordable vertical mouse. And I purchased this because I was curious to find out how comfortable it is to use this mouse for creating visual content work for graphic design, editing photos and videos. I've been using this mouse for a few weeks now, so let me give you the bottom line up front. This is a beautiful mouse with solid build quality. It performs really well. The tracking resolution is 400 to 4000 dpi and it's very comfortable to hold. And I really like how soft the clicking noise is. Downsides, there are some glitches with the driver, however none of those glitches affect the performance. There is no horizontal scrolling with the roller here. To scroll horizontally, you have to press one of these two buttons here and scroll vertically. I find this quite difficult to get used to. The other downside, this mouse is relatively taller compared to a traditional mouse. This is the Logitech M720 that I'm currently using. So when it comes to switching your hand from the mouse to the keyboard and back to the mouse, you have to lift your hand further up. If you work too fast, chances are when you're switching your hand, you may hit the top of the mouse and the mouse toppling over. That has happened to me several times, so this is going to take some time to get used to, just like how it's going to take time to get used to vertical scrolling by pressing a button and scrolling at the same time. This is a really good mouse, however I will not recommend this over a traditional mouse unless your hand is suffering from fatigue or pain from using your current mouse, because a traditional mouse such as this one that I have here is quite comfortable too. So again, unless you are feeling hand pain or strain with your current mouse, I don't really recommend getting a vertical mouse. The Logitech LIFT is really for people with ergonomic issues with traditional mouse. I purchased this mouse because I was curious to see how it feels in hand. It is comfortable, but since I'm not suffering from hand fatigue or pain with my current mouse, I don't see any compelling reason to switch from the other mouse to this vertical mouse. And now for the very detailed review. This mouse comes in three colors: graphite, pale gray and rose, and it's made with 50 to 70% recycled plastic depending on the color you get. This one is for right-handers. There is also the left-handed version of this mouse. The build quality is solid. I like the matte textured surface. This grip section here is rubberized. Ridges here for extra grip, I guess. The two side buttons here have good firm clicking feedback. This is the forward and back button when web browsing, and these two buttons are customizable. This is 57 degrees. Logitech says this will put your hand in the natural handshake position, so that's what makes this design an ergonomic design. The shape and the design of this mouse makes it very comfortable to hold, and it slides or glides very smoothly on this mouse pad. The weight is 125 grams. The weight doesn't feel very different compared to a traditional mouse. As mentioned earlier, if you have a traditional mouse that is designed and shaped, contoured for your hands, it can be very comfortable as well. By the way, I have a number there because I have two mouses. This is mouse number 1. This mouse is made for small to medium-sized hands, and my hands are considered small, so there is space for my 4th and 5th finger. If your hands are larger, chances are there may not be enough space at the bottom for your little finger. You can use this Logitech sizing guide to help you find out the appropriate size to get for your mouse. This is the vertical scrolling wheel. The wheel is rubberized and there are steps to scrolling, so you can scroll bit by bit or you can roll this for quick scroll. However, the wheel will stop by itself. The roller doesn't have left and right movement, so to scroll horizontally, you have to press one of these two buttons and move this vertically. I do not have any issues with moving this vertically to scroll horizontally. My main issue is actually pressing the button here and scrolling at the same time. So this is, to me, less intuitive compared to having a mouse where you can just push left and right to scroll. That's the tracking speed toggle, which by default is set to 1000 and 1600 dpi. The range is from 400 to 4000 dpi. You can choose two speeds, assign it to the button and switch between the two speeds. This mouse can be connected to 3 devices, either using Bluetooth or the USB receiver, also known as the Logitech Boat receiver. You can switch between devices very easily and quickly by pressing this button. That's the sensor, the power button. The flap here is magnetic, so you can just push down and lift this up. That's a AA battery, and battery life is said to last for 2 years. And that slot there is for keeping the Logitech Boat USB receiver. These 3 things here are magnets. Having a wireless USB receiver is very important to me because sometimes Bluetooth just doesn't work. Or you can be at the setup screen before you sign in, but you can't set up Bluetooth or connect to Bluetooth because you're not in the system yet. So this is where the USB receiver is really useful. Just put this in your computer and this works just like a normal mouse. I always have one channel here paired to the USB receiver. Let's see what the driver can do. This is the Logitech Option Plus driver that is compatible with newer Logitech products. If you are using an older keyboard or mouse, chances are you may be using the older driver, which is called the Logitech Option. So the new driver is for changing the settings for new products. The old driver is for changing the settings for old products. If you are using a new and old product, you need to install 2 drivers because this new driver will not be able to change the settings for your older products. So this is where you can customize the side buttons and the roller. And here you can change the pointer speed. You can customize 2 speeds and use the button here to toggle between the 2 speeds. The 2 side buttons can be customized to specific software. By default, this is forward and back. So if you want to use the mouse with Photoshop, you can choose to add application here and choose whatever software that is here or use your own software. So let's say I'm using this mouse with Photoshop. I can customize the buttons to zoom in and zoom out or whatever keyboard shortcuts that I want. And when you switch to different applications, the shortcuts will change automatically. And this is changing the direction of the scroll wheel. Some of these settings, actually most of these settings are very intuitive, very straightforward. Easy Switch tells you which devices the mouse is currently connected to. So I have the mouse connected to 3 devices. Logitech Flow allows the mouse to be used on 2 computers. So right now I have this computer using the mouse. Logitech Flow doesn't work for me right now because the driver has glitches. Ideally, if it works properly, you can move your mouse from one computer to the other computer. So this is running Windows, this is running Mac OS. So as I move the mouse to the right side, I can see the cursor appear, but the cursor just can't move on the Mac. And when I move the cursor back, it moves on the Windows, and as I move the cursor to the right, again it's stuck here at the edge. You will need to install the same driver on both computers to get this to work, but currently it doesn't work because it has glitches. You can connect to multiple computers. I do not have another Windows computer to test, so I cannot tell you whether this will work with a Windows and Windows computer connection. To conclude, this is a good looking mouse that performs really well and it's very comfortable. However, I would recommend this mouse mostly to people with ergonomic issues with traditional mouse. If you are not suffering from hand fatigue or discomfort with traditional mouse, I don't really see any compelling reason to buy a vertical mouse, especially if you are just thinking of buying one to try it out.